Hello there. Today we're going to make a repair on the house, and I think you're going to like it because it's a lot of good things going on. We're faced with a light fixture that's falling through the ceiling, and the previous owner of the house a very, very long time ago has it attached to this, which is not good, and you see the exposed wires, so we're going to repair this light fixture in a much better way so that it's permanent and so that it's safe and that we could probably not hit our heads in the light bulb when it's hanging down. So the first step to any electrical repair is to cut the power. This way we can remove the chance of being shocked. So come on over, we're going to turn off the circuit breaker. The circuit breaker, if you look on the board, it says finished side basement lights. And this is our finished side of the basement. And these are the lights. So you find number 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's number 6. And off go the lights. So that's our first step. Now we're going to get a tester to ensure that the power is in fact off at the light, just to make sure there's no residual electricity in the circuit. And then we're going to move on to our repair. Cut. All right, everybody, back at the light, we have our electricity tester just to make sure that there's no current in the light when we're done. Now, the light bulb turning off is always a good indicator that there's no electricity in there, but when it comes to getting shocked, 110 volts kind of hurts a little bit, so we want to make sure that doesn't happen. You'll see the tester feels no electricity when it's green. Nothing happens. Even when you touch the ground wire, there's no electricity, but when you touch the feed wire, you see even when you get close to it, it can sense the field of electricity feeding into the lamp. The closer you get to the hot spot, then you get your red. That's how you know your circuit is hot. This is a great little tester, by the way, that it also has a little prong so that you can plug it into outlets and see if outlets are hot. Cut. So now that we're back at the light, the power has been cut. We have our tester in hand and we know how it's supposed to act. So we're still seeing green, no electricity. Return wire, which is also considered a ground, no electricity. And our feed wire, also no electricity. So we're 100% safe and ready to move on with our repair. Cut. So now that we know that the electricity is off, we can pull the light just a little bit, and luckily the previous owner decided to conveniently connect these in an easy to reach place so that we won't get shocked. So the next step is going to be disconnect these twist ties. They just unscrew counterclockwise, just like you're unscrewing a bottle cap, and then the light fixture comes down. So we're still safe because then there's no electricity going to these wires, and that's what you want to avoid. So the next step is to get this panel out of the way, which is going to be a matter of pushing up. If you have a drop ceiling, you might be familiar. You push the whole thing up, wiggle it to one side, slide it over to the other side so that it's over, and then it exposes a corner. Then the corner comes down, and you can slowly and surely wiggle it out. Like that. Keep your eyes closed and don't breathe, though, or wear a mask. Because if we're not wearing masks every day, So here we are. We now have the light fixture exposed. You have the light receptacle exposed with the wires coming in. The power's still off. We have our light fixture. We're not going to get a new one because we're just trying to make it secure. We're not necessarily trying to make it pretty. So what we've done is I've already made sure that the light fixture will adhere with this bolt. This other side is broken. So in order to just avoid having to replace that whole thing, we're going to use one screw. Because for now, that's just going to be good enough. So the first step is you want to make sure that your wires are connected correctly. And white goes to white. So we start there. What you do is you want to make sure that it's even on the end the distance. Tips want to be correct. Spinning around that way. They're twisted, nice and snug. I'm not an electrician. Don't do this at home. Take your cap, you're gonna twist it on until it's nice and snug and there's no looseness or movement. It should be able to hang by itself, which it can. Your other side, you want to do the same thing. You want to be careful to make sure that your tips of your wires are lined up at the same distance. And then the main wire from the house is just a single solid wire. It's not going to move. It's very hard. Your wire just twists around, the cap goes on, and screws them together and mushes them until they're nice and firm. You need to make sure you get a good bite, which I have. So, for test purposes, what I would like to do is put our light bulb in. I'm going to go hit the lights to make sure that it works. Cut. And let's check this out and see. Yep, it works. So we're wired up. All right, so with the power back off, we're going to safely and securely tuck what we have into our receptacle. My goal has always been to keep it neat, try to keep it as clutter-free as possible so that there's less chance of any tension on the wires to tug out of the connectors. And you want it to be nice and clean so that if you have to go back in here, you're not worrying about anything. All important things. You can line up your screw with your keyhole, a little wiggle, and up it goes. Nice and secure.
Haircut?
Yep. Happened to have a big hole in it, which is why I knew we could put it up here and have the light bulb come down. Still make it easy access, but now the light fixture is nice and secure and safe, and it's not dangling in your head, so it doesn't hit you. So let's check out the circuit breaker and make sure we have success, which of course I would expect us to have. Stay tuned again, because here's how we started. Basically, this is the precursor. See, it's loose. We don't want that. We have dust falling. We don't need this loose light fixture. We're going to fix this again, but this is what we started with before it fell out a little more. Now over here is what we are left with after a short, small, quick repair. I'll probably open this up a little more, maybe finish it with something a little nicer, maybe a different tile, but either way, it's a little better now. So, home fix-its for free.